Hey there, sports fans and future historians. If I told you a decade ago that Saudi Arabia was positioning itself to become a global sports powerhouse, you might have chuckled and gone back to watching the Premier League or the NBA. But today, that laugh would probably get stuck in your throat because the kingdom is making some serious power moves. Whether it's football, golf, or even Formula One, Saudi Arabia is everywhere. And you know what? They're not just here to play, they're here to dominate. So, buckle up as we dive into how Saudi Arabia is quietly building a sports empire that could take over the world. All right, let's start with the real MVP of Saudi Arabia's sports takeover, the PIF, or Public Investment Fund. You see, the PIF isn't just a piggy bank. It's a colossal $700 billion behemoth. This fund, under the leadership of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, is on a mission to diversify the kingdom's economy and shift focus away from oil. And what better way to do that than to invest in the universal language, sports? They've got a bold vision, and they're not holding back. In 2021 alone, the PIF poured billions into acquiring sports teams, sponsoring global events, and even creating their own leagues. The strategy? Simple. Become a key player in every sport possible, from football to esports. And the rest of the world? Well, they can either join the game or be left on the sidelines. Yeah, remember when Saudi Arabia shocked the world by buying Newcastle United? Or how they've thrown an insane amount of cash into LIV Golf, the rival to the PGA? If that's not an empire in the making, I don't know what is. Let's talk football, or soccer, for my American friends. Football is king in most of the world, and Saudi Arabia knows it. They've gone from being football spectators to big-time players. And trust me, they're not here to sit on the bench. Remember when Cristiano Ronaldo signed with Al Nassr? That was a massive moment. Sure, the move raised a lot of eyebrows at first. Ronaldo, one of the greatest footballers of all time, leaving Europe to play in Saudi Arabia. But then, it all started to make sense. The Saudi Pro League isn't just looking to compete, they're aiming to become a football powerhouse in their own right. And Ronaldo isn't alone. Big names like Karim Benzema and N'Golo Kante are following suit. Saudi clubs are throwing cash at star players, but it's not just about the money, it's about prestige. The goal? To make the Saudi Pro League a top global destination for football. Forget just hosting World Cup qualifiers. Saudi Arabia wants to host the World Cup itself in the near future. Oh, and spoiler alert, they've already started bidding for the 2034 World Cup. Talk about playing the long game. Now let's swing over to golf. Saudi Arabia's entry into golf wasn't just a quiet affair. It was a full-on disruption. LIV Golf, backed by the PIF, came out of nowhere with one mission: shake up the PGA's monopoly. And boy, did they deliver. LIV Golf has redefined what it means to be a professional golfer. Bigger payouts, shorter seasons, and some good old controversy. The PIF reportedly invested over $2 billion to make it happen. And many of golf's biggest stars, like Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson, have signed on. Critics? Oh, there were plenty. But, as we've seen, money talks. And in the case of LIV Golf, it shouts. And the result? A historic merger between the PGA and LIV Golf in 2023. That's right, the disruptor forced the old guard to come to the table. It's no longer just about golf, it's about controlling the future of sports. All right, next stop, Formula One. Saudi Arabia's got the Jeddah Grand Prix, one of the fastest and most thrilling circuits on the F1 calendar. But this isn't just about hosting a race, it's about branding Saudi Arabia as a destination for global sporting excellence. It's no secret that F1 brings in a high-profile audience, from celebrities to corporate moguls. The kingdom is using events like these to send a clear message. They're not just a regional player, they're here to attract the world's elite. Okay, now let's zoom out a bit. Saudi Arabia's sports empire is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Vision 2030. This is Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's master plan to transform the kingdom into a global hub for everything, from tourism and culture to tech and, of course, sports. With futuristic cities like Neom rising from the desert, Saudi Arabia is reshaping itself on a global stage. They're hosting boxing matches, esports tournaments, wrestling, and even trying to bring the Olympics to the desert. And here's the thing, it's all working. Saudi Arabia knows that sports aren't just about entertainment. They're about influence, soft power, and global prestige. And with the money, the infrastructure, and the ambition they're putting behind it all, the kingdom is positioning itself to be a sports empire like no other. So, will Saudi Arabia's bold bet on sports pay off? All signs point to yes. They've got the players, the money, and most importantly, the vision. In just a few short years, they've gone from being spectators to orchestrating the biggest moves in the global sports industry. And one thing's for sure, this is just the beginning. Watch out, world, because the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia isn't just playing the game, they're rewriting the rules. Thanks for watching, and if you liked this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your fellow sports fans, and subscribe for more insights into the world's biggest power plays in sports. See you next time.